Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we are talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and this one isn't related to the fact that I've been playing the game a lot, which I have, but this is because they just released, at least at the time of recording this video, I don't know when I'm going to end up getting it on the channel, but at the time of recording this video, they just released the roadmap for the updates and DLC for this game. So I love that. I love that they're doing that. The transparency there is excellent. Obviously things that they don't show on there, but we know are planned. All of the bug fixes and everything going into the day one patch will be the very first thing after that. Then you can see, and we'll go through it. Basically, I'm thinking we're just going to watch through it uninterrupted, and then I'll go through and break it down. I think that makes more sense, because when I do the breakdown right away, A, it takes me a lot longer to watch through the video, and it makes my breakdown take too long, and B, it kind of makes it so if you're just watching this, you can't really get the whole essence of the video. So let's just watch through it, and then we'll break it down.
Peggy 18.
Lots of stuff to break down in there. Lots of good stuff, too. One thing I did notice right away that I should point out, I believe it said it. Where did it say it? Okay, so right here, DLC content and release windows are subject to change. So you can see that down on the bottom of the screen. So that is important to keep in mind. They're pretty good at keeping to their dates, Warhorse Studios in general. I mean, they haven't been around for crazy long, but with the first game, they were able to stick to their kind of DLC windows as they described them in the beginning. And, you know, obviously for releasing this game, they've stuck to it pretty well. In fact, moving up the release date, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. The video just starts off with some stuff from the second game. So we get a shot of Trotsky Castle, a shot of a wagon going down the road, which is a fun fact that a lot of people probably don't notice because it's a smaller detail. The first game did not have moving wagons except in one pre-rendered cutscene. This game has them all over the place, and you see them a lot, so that's fun. Then we get a shot of Kuttenberg. Then we get a shot of a castle siege. I'm not sure which castle. I would guess maybe Sukdol. Same thing goes for that, not sure. But again, it's another siege. Then we get another shot inside Kuttenberg. We get some combat, some more combat, and that's when we get to the actual announcement stuff. So I'll play a little bit and we'll talk some more. All right, so obviously the plan is, it says extend your journey in Bohemia, so if it's anything like the first game's DLC, my guess would be these DLCs, after they've been released, will be integrated into the story where they logically make sense. So it's probably not post-game content. Now, on your first playthrough, it will probably end up being post-game content, because if you're playing the game aggressively, by the time the story expansions start coming out, you're probably going to be done with the story in at least one save. Now, of course, you could have multiple going through. If it's anything like the first game, it's more fun to play them integrated into the story where they naturally go, but they were also very enjoyable to play post-game, so we'll have to see exactly what it is. All right, so all of the stuff that's we're gonna see listed here in the spring, this is all free stuff that every single person who purchases the game is going to have access to. So I know a lot of people are concerned about that because these features aren't available at launch or something. It's exactly the same as it was with the first game. Clearly, they work on the core experience, and that includes, so for like the Barber DLC, and we'll get to that as it comes up. I've already seen people complaining that the Barber DLC or the Barber Ability wasn't included at launch. It wasn't included in the first game either. Now for me, you know, it may seem like a small thing because it was in the first game after it was added. Why not add it here? I mean, there's lots of potential reasons. They wouldn't, it's not like they're leaving it out to make money, you know, because it's free. It's coming afterwards. My guess would be it's easier to go through the various cutscenes and all that sort of stuff to make sure you have a solid and smooth experience when you don't have to worry about that extra layer of customization being added on, you know, different beards and hairstyles. So it could be as simple as that it's just much easier to release that after the game is in a super finished state and they have plenty of time to then do all the testing with the various hairstyles and beards and all that sort of stuff to make sure it doesn't screw anything up. As for hardcore mode, same thing. They're doing the solid core experience, making sure they take care of all the bugs before they add in any more modes. So it's coming in the spring. It's not like it'll be a long wait. A lot of people probably are already decided they're not going to buy it at launch anyway, so by the time they end up playing it, hardcore mode might be available right from the beginning. But they are adding a hardcore mode. It's going to be pretty quick, and it will be free. So that's all the good news about the free content. Oh, and horse racing. Now, horse racing, it has never been a big thing for me in many games. Like, I'll do it in like The Witcher or in Kingdom Come Deliverance when either A, there's a reward I want from it, or B, if it's like integrated into the story. But I've never enjoyed horse racing in video games. It's one of those things that is always just, you hope that the game is designed in a way to make it so the race isn't too difficult or challenging, because you just want to get over with it. Now, it's possible based on the new horse type features and designs that are in this game, maybe you're going to get some serious rewards like really good horses, or winning these races will upgrade your horses, as we know that's a thing, at least with Pebbles. So it's possible that the rewards could be very large, and that's the only thing that would get me excited for horse racing. But basically, the addition of this is kind of like how they added the tournament mode into the first game. So that was added at the same time as the Amorous Adventures of the Bold Sir Hans Capon DLC. But as far as I know, the tournament mode was free. It was kind of integrated with that DLC and released at the same time, but you got it whether or not you bought the DLC or not. So it's the tournament mode or the tournament ability is already in this core game. So the horse racing kind of reminds me of that. So then for our summer DLC, that's where we get our first story expansion, and it's called Brushes with Death. It says, help a mysterious artist with an enigmatic past. So this one, I have no idea what this could be. It's probably going to be something like the Amorous Adventures of the Bold Sir Hans Capon, vibe-wise, because you're helping out an artist with something. It could be a murder mystery for all I know. I genuinely have no idea. But whatever it is, I'm sure it will be exciting. So not a whole lot we can tell from that, but, it's always fun to meet a mysterious artist with an enigmatic past. All right, so then in the fall, we get our Legacy of the Forge DLC, which would be, I would draw the comparison to From the Ashes from the first game. So in From the Ashes, you rebuild a settlement and become the bailiff, and it gives you sort of an end-game money generation, or actually mid-game money generation and sort of sandbox experience where you get to get the feeling that you're building something that is all yours. Well, here we go. So I'm guessing what's going to happen with this is, it says restore the Kuttenberg Forge. I have not played that far into the game yet, even though I have been playing it. I don't know if there's something wrong with the forge, or if something bad happens at some point in the story, or whatever the case may be, but it makes it so, or maybe it just has fallen from its former glory. So, or hell, maybe it's Martin's old forge, because he did forge in Kuttenberg at one time. So whatever the case may be, apparently we're going to have the ability to get our own forge and then become a master blacksmith. So my guess would be this is going to be a probably really good money generation method once this is added into the game, and maybe you'll be able to make some really cool stuff. So I'm definitely excited for that DLC. One reason, because so far in this game, now again, like I said, I'm not super far in. I haven't gotten to Kuttenberg yet and started doing stuff there. Maybe it gets easier there. But one thing I've noticed is that it's harder to make money in this game than it was in the first game. Now it's not hard, it's just that I haven't found a good cheese yet like I did in the first game. Many people who watched me make videos for Kingdom Come Deliverance remember I would have like 14 million groschen because I knew how to do it. You could just keep looting and keep bringing that back, and you could raise the available groschen at a merchant to levels where they had hundreds of thousands of groschen, and then you could either just sell more stuff and get all that groschen and keep the process going forever, or you could just steal the groschen and have it. So like, that worked. I have not found a way to make that work in this game yet. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I'm guessing it's patched out to make sure the game stays challenging for longer. And so far it has been. Like, I've been making money. At the point where I'm at in the game, I've got maybe 20, 30,000 groschen sitting on me, but it's been from the fact that I do a lot of looting, a lot of experimentation, a lot of all that sort of stuff. And obviously, whenever I buy something, I've gotten my thievery high enough to get my money back. So, it would be definitely a great addition to the game for the role players who don't want to be constantly stealing money from chests, to have a great revenue generation method based on smithing. So very excited for that DLC. Probably the most out of everything in this video. All right, then we get our winter one, Mysteria Ecclesiae? I'm not sure. Ecclesiae is probably how you say that. It's Latin. Explore Sedlet's monastery to stop the spread of a deadly illness. So we get another monastery mission, and I know a lot of people probably really didn't like the monastery mission from the first game. I love it. It's so good, and it's always the example I use for people when I say, obviously the game was a bit of a niche interest for certain parts of it. That's one of them. So not everybody wants to have to follow monastic rules while you investigate a mystery inside a monastery with a bunch of give extra monk-like responsibilities and all sorts of stuff. That's a fairly niche interest, but for those of us who enjoyed it, we love it. So I always talk to people about the first game, and everybody falls into one of two categories about that mission. Either it's their favorite part of the game, they love it, they look forward to it, and they really take their time in it, or it's the people who absolutely hate it, and all they do is run inside, cheese it, and kill the guy after they found out who it was on the internet, just to get it over as quick as possible. Nobody feels moderate about that mission. Everybody either loves it or hates it. Of course, now I'm going to get people in the comment, I felt moderately about it, but whatever. So I'm excited about this. It's got the spread of a deadly illness. That's interesting. So it's kind of a callback to both the Merhoyed illness thing and the monastery mission. I'm excited for that. That could be fun. I, of course, don't know. There might be another mission in a monastery in the main game. I haven't played it yet, at least that far, so it's possible. But this is exciting. That one's probably my second most excited thing. I would say that's probably tied with hardcore mode for second place. First place is that Forge one. The artist one is interesting, but I literally know absolutely nothing about it, so it's hard to be excited about it, other than the fact that it's just going to be more Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is obviously good news. And so there we get our shot of the full screen, of the full roadmap. So spring is all free updates, Barber feature, hardcore mode, and horse racing. Then we get Brushes with Death, Legacy of the Forge, and Mysteria Ecclesiae. And so obviously, if you get the, they haven't announced an expansion pass. I mean, they have it here. So I would assume after the launch of the game, that will become available for purchase. But if you pre-order the gold edition, you get the base game, you get the Gallant Huntsman's kit, which is the initial bonus for having the gold edition before all the stuff comes out, and you also get the expansion pass, which will include all of this stuff and Shields of Seasons passing. So I imagine what that means is that we'll get a shield in the spring, we'll get a shield in the summer, we'll get a shield in the fall, and we'll get a shield in the winter. So with each one of these expansions. And of course, we get a shot of our date for the game because everybody isn't already super well aware that it comes out on February 4th. And lastly, the pre-order bonus, which is the Lion's Crest bonus quest. Speaking of which, I haven't found this in the game, so maybe because it's early access or whatever, it doesn't count or whatever. Maybe this only becomes available on February 4th, or maybe I just haven't found it yet, or maybe it's late in the game. I have no idea, but I have not run into this quest yet. So that is all. That's the whole roadmap. So a fairly short and not detailed video, but it was enough to get me excited, so I definitely wanted to make this video right away. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too ridiculously long, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.